And there's this like, you were like the pot smoker guy.
Yeah, that's like still to this day. Yeah. I get tweets all the time.
So, first of all, do you even smoke pot anymore?
I do occasionally, yeah. Yeah.
And how do you feel about that legacy?
Well, it's interesting. So it's almost like, and there's a funny picture of me and Coach Ditka on the cover of ESPN magazine. I'm wearing a wedding dress, and I feel my relationship with marijuana is similar because in people's minds, I gave up everything to smoke pot. So it's that same relationship, and it's like, as public opinion about marijuana is changing, it's making my life easier. But when people talk about marijuana, it's very polarizing. People are either like, it's medicine, it's this, it's this, it's this, it's this, it's this, and it's good. And then people are like, no, it's bad, it's bad, it's bad. No one ever looks at, okay, what contribution can this be? In my life, and that's how I've lived my life all the time. Like, I'm always asking what's going to create the things in my life that I'd like to have. And when I was smoking a lot of pot, that's because that's what pot was doing. And for me, there's use, there's abuse, and there's addiction. Okay? And use is when you're willing to receive what something has to contribute to you. Abuse is when you make that the answer. So for instance, I was in college, my girlfriend and I had broken up. And we were together for 2 years, and I thought she was the one. And she starts dating the quarterback on the football team, like the week after, not the day after. And so I'm like, and I'm my senior year, so I'm running for the Heisman Trophy, and it's like crap. I'm like depressed. I go to school, I go to practice, and then I go home, and I'm like this. And so my roommate used to smoke a little bit, and so he smoked a lot. And so one day he said, why don't you smoke? And so I said, okay. And I smoked, and it was the first night that I didn't feel depressed. And so from that experience, I can't sit here and say that it's bad because I felt like crap. I smoked, I didn't. If I would have said, okay, well, every time I feel bad, that I'm going to smoke a joint, and that's when you go to abuse. That's when you go to abuse. And did I go to abuse with it? For sure. But through that, I got an awareness that, the Buddha said, everything in the world is medicine if you use it right. And so what I am is, if people would get out of the judging it as right or judging it as wrong and ask, okay, what can this plant do? What can this plant change? What contribution can this plant be? I think something different can actually show up.